Welcome, Solar here. I hope you guys are doing well today. I am here to give you a reading, a tarot astrology reading on the upcoming new moon in Gemini. So I first and foremost want to take the opportunity to thank each and every one of you for all of your support, whether you're supporting me here on this channel or my other channel, Solara Speaks, or both. I appreciate you being here and I thank you for all of your love. Thank you if you are here for the first time. Welcome. So in this format, I look at the astrology for what's happening when the moon reaches her newness, which will be occurring where I am in the world on Sunday morning. And for some of you, it will be Sunday afternoon. If you're farther east and if you're farther west, it might be Saturday night. But the new moon, she's coming into her newness, and she's coming into her newness at the 26-degree mark. So before I get into this, if you're new in these here parts, tarot astrology is the breaking down of astrology utilizing the power of tarot. So in the tarot deck, we have the major arcana cards that are all connected to different signs and planets. But then the minor arcana is also split in accordance with the decans. Okay, so Gemini energy in the minor arcana is represented by 3 cards. For the 0 to 10, it's the 8 of Swords. 10 to 20 degree mark, it is the 9 of Swords. And the 20 to 29 degree mark, it is the 10 of Swords. And the major arcana cards represented, that Gemini is represented by, are the Magician and the Lovers. So the Magician is more connected with the Gemini energy because it's Mercury, and that is Gemini's ruling planet. So the Magician card is connected to both Gemini and Virgo energy because technically the Magician card is a planetary card, not necessarily purely a zodiac card. The Lovers is connected purely to Gemini energy. So the Magician is all about our ability to connect with the fact that we are greater than what we've been told. That's really what it is. The Magician is when we start to wake up to the fact that, oh, wait a minute, I've got a pentacle, I've got a wand, I've got a cup, and I got me a sword. You know, I've got all of these tools I didn't even realize I had because I'm this magical being. That's the Magician. So as such, the energies of Gemini season often come up to challenge, 2222 on my clock, to challenge our place as the magician of our own lives. So Gemini energy, like I said, is also connected to the Lovers card. And the Lovers card in the tarot is all about, it's about divine union, as I'm sure many of you know. It's about divine contracts. But the Lovers is a gateway back into Eden. Okay, and your Eden you might think of Eden as literally being the new earth. You might think of it as being a higher timeline than what you're living in presently. You may have already reached your Eden because it really is an internal location. Take it as it resonates. But I think it's really cool that it's 2222 on the clock because we're dealing with the unions, and that's really what that 2222 energy is about. But the 10 of Swords is the energy that is representing the degree that the sun and the moon will be at on Sunday morning at the 26-degree mark. So if you've been rolling with me and you watched my full moon in Sagittarius video and the video I did last week, kind of the mid-moon energies, you will know that the 8, 9, and 10 of Swords, which is Gemini energy, like I said, is the culmination of the energies of the entirety of the sword suit. So in other words, we get to the 8, 9, and 10 of Swords in a cycle when we've already been through the Ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of Swords. And that is Libra and Aquarius energy. Okay, so the sword suit is connected with your mental body. Your mental body is where all of your thoughts about yourself are stored, the thoughts that you are consciously aware of and the thoughts that have been subconsciously programmed into you. Your mental body holds other people's thoughts, opinions, words. Yeah. So in other words, when somebody is speaking something over you or even speaking something about you, whether or not you are in that person's physical vicinity, your mental body is what is going to absorb those energies. And this is what the sword suit teaches us about. It teaches us about the power that we have as individuals and as a collective to either sow words that bring life or sow words that bring death. And it all is always going to be dependent upon the state of your own heart. Okay, so the energies of Gemini, because you're dealing with the twins, you're dealing with two energies that are wanting to come back together as one. There's a lot of duplicity that occurs. There's duplicity that occurs with how people express themselves. There's duplicity with how people present themselves. There's duplicity everywhere. And the energies that we're dealing with like to exploit that to a big extent. So this is why Gemini season, especially this year, has been remarkably, there have been a lot of psychic attacks because the Gemini energy, when exploited, can actually expand energies of double-mindedness. It can expand energies even of certain mental illnesses, including psychosis. It can expand and magnify energies that are either already there or things that others are projecting into people's fields who are unaware. Okay? The Gemini energy, when exploited, can put somebody into the mental prison that locks them out of their ability to access Eden within. So this Gemini season, because so many of us have been waking up and rising, right? The challenge came with all of the energies that wanted us to think that we're at the wrong gate, you could kind of say. Like so many of us have worked very hard to get back to the gates of Eden, right? And we're there, we're there, we got there, and we're heading in now. But we're heading in, or a lot of people are heading in, heading in based upon how we were able to deal with all of the mental fuckery that tried to talk us out of our place in paradise. Okay, and it's been brutal. It's been brutal because the nature of mental energy is that it will trick you into thinking that what you're thinking is true. And that is ultimately the test to see if you're ready. If you're ready or not to enter into these gates of paradise. Are you still believing the lies about yourself, about others, about your life, about the world? Because we're not growing those energies in Eden. We're not growing deception in Eden. We're growing love. We're growing truth. We're growing joy, peace, bliss, every beautiful thing that when you're in alignment and you therefore enter Eden is your birthright. Okay, so this new moon in Gemini is a magnanimous turning point for many of you on your healing path because it's opening the door. Remember I said the lover's energy is, it gives you access to Eden. It's a gateway, it's a portal, right? You have access right now to higher timelines. And the new moon in Gemini is helping you to navigate your way to find yourself, to decide what timeline you want to jump into, really. And it's always going to be a personal choice. You will have options that will come towards you that are in alignment either with the energies you've been putting out that you want to magnetize into your reality, or you will have energies that are trying to come into your fields, trying to take you off track, because at every turn you have to choose Eden. You have to choose it for yourself. Okay, so with these degrees, 26 degrees Gemini, 10 of Swords, you've been through a battle. We've been through a battle. We've been through one hell of a mental battle just in Gemini season. And when you think about all of the other stuff that we've been going through, this is like a grand accumulation of so many energies, especially attack energies, okay? And so now it's time to take the swords out of our backs and rise again. And I did in the Daily Alchemy members portal, which is actually open right now for those of you who would like to, take part of it for the week. I'm having an open week at Daily Alchemy members portal. I put the information on the community board alongside the post I did yesterday because this was an energy that was coming up. My guides were showing me, they're like, they said to me, the Ten of Swords is this energy where you've been through it all. You've been through it all, and you've been through enough that it's wiped you out. You might be feeling wiped out, and it doesn't have to be physically, because most of the time these energies are mentally, okay? Because it's a mental battle. This realm, the Matrix, utilizes mental magic to keep you stuck in projections and distortions that then you create through your energy field and bring into life through your emotions because you believe what it is that you've been told. And so now we've been battling against that. We've been battling against it in every way. We've been battling against it in self to align with the truth of who we are. We've been battling against it with entities and psychic attacks and people wanting to cast spells against us to keep us stuck in old ways of thinking about ourselves that would then have us abandon the truth of who we are and therefore take on the false persona they need for us to have in order to profit off of our energy. And then we've been dealing with people, real life people, coming in and trying to tell us we're something we're not. Okay, so at every turn we've been being asked. It's been a questioning time. Do you believe you are who you say you are? What if I send you this entity to tell you some things about yourself? Are you still attached to that wounded way of thinking? Are you still carrying guilt for things that you've done that is already under the bridge? It's time for you to move on. What is the state of your energy right now? When I come to you with these words, or when this mental energy tries to enter into your field through another or through an energy entity, whatever, how do you stand up and fight it? If I come and tell you that you're worthless and everything, are you going to take it? Are you going to lie down in Ten of Swords and be like, yes, I am? Or are you going to stand up and be like, no, fuck you, I'm not worthless. I'm the salt of the earth. I know my value and I know who you are. Or I know who I am and I know who you aren't. Are you fighting for yourself? And when you're fighting for yourself with your sword of truth, are you fighting for those who these entities are trying to come and tell you lies about them too? Because it was open season on everyone. And I said it would be. I did a reading about this about a month ago before we entered into Gemini season, because there was a shift in the energies of trying to use mental energy, by way of entities to try to drag people down and to use us to do it to one another. And that's been a big theme that's been magnified in Gemini season. So now we're reaching the close of it. And are you going to stay down? All of those swords that these people, beings, energies sent your way and stabbed you in the back. Not only through Gemini season, but for many of you throughout this and past lives, because this Gemini energy was really one also, especially in the past week, for us coming to terms with closing out old timelines. There was a lot of past life stuff coming up for us to reconcile ourselves with, because we have to decide also, what are we going to alchemize and what are we going to leave behind in terms of how those energies affect how we think about ourselves in the now, or how we allow other people to project into our realities in the now, or express into our realities in the now, or be in our realities in the now. So Taurus season was all about us tuning into our value, and Gemini season was now about owning it. And because you stood up and you owned your value, this is why you got more swords thrown at you. So now, are you lying down with the swords in your back? Woe is me. Or are you taking them out and recognizing that each sword, now that it's in your possession, is a sword of truth? And are you now creating a shield of swords around you? The very ones that they sent to try and destroy you, are you using to keep those energies out? Because that's what we're here to do. Because when we keep those energies out, the ones that were sent to destroy us and to lie to us and tell us we're something we're not, that's when we've built a wall of protection that allows us to go further towards the gate, or even go into the gate, or go into the new divine contract, or go into divine union. So the 26-degree mark is also the knowledge of union, 2 and 6. I don't normally break it down like that, but they just told me to, so we'll go with it. 2 and 6. 2 is high priestess energy. It's a secret being revealed. And then the 6, of course, is the lovers. There are secrets now. There are things that were secret about unions that this new moon is going to help bring to light. It's not going to come to light on the new moon because the moon is in darkness, but those seeds for the seeds for the why can't I think? The seeds for the illumination of the secrets surrounding unions have been planted. And so more information, in other words, is about to start playing out, depending on your own timeline and where you are in your healing, and if you're actually in Eden, and if you're with your divine partner, or you're coming into union, etc., or if this energy has opened the door for you to come into union, because that's what the Gemini energy does. I want you to understand and understand that with that 8, 9, 10 of swords and having to battle through all of the mind control and mental energies, mental fuckery that's designed to deceive you out of who you truly are. The only reason an energy or, a battle gets really tough is because there's about to be a breakthrough. And that's what Gemini does. Gemini is, those energies are what you must fight through to get to the gate. It's what you must fight through to get to the gate. Because what's at the gate is so precious that if you don't pass the test of the fight, you may not enter. Okay? So the 26th degree is also a degree of Taurus. So again, this new moon is really about calling in divine contracts that are in alignment with whatever energy we have decided we are at this point. So Aries energy, the start of the astrological year, we were being asked, do you know who you are yet? Are you wearing your I am truth? Are you believing it? Are you feeling it? Are you living it? Because then the energy of Taurus brought in the accompanying value system that's needed in order to sustain your I am truth. And then Gemini energy came to say, oh, are you really believing it? And if you believe it, can you get through these battles to actually get to the gate that will give you access to bringing what your I am truth is and was revealed to you in Aries season from the heavens into the earth planes? Are you really ready to believe in who you are? Believe in your value. Believe in your significance. Or can you be wiped out easily with a lie or with a projection or with words of flattery that are really designed to poison? Do you see? Do you discern? Do you discern the truth of who you are? Because it's only when you can discern the truth of who you are that you can discern the truth of another being. Okay. So, Sun and the Moon working together in that Taurus degree to further cement and bring in contracts that are in alignment with the value system we've chosen to take on upon ourselves. And when I say the value system, I'm saying that in Taurus season, you got to see what your worth is in accordance with who you are divinely. You got to get a glimpse. Okay? And based upon what you saw about who you actually are, your value system now should match that. So, in other words, whoever you are cosmologically must now match who it is you're becoming in real time on the earth plane, for as long as the value system that you've created around yourself and the way you live matches that and can therefore sustain that energy in real time. I hope that makes sense. So now we have also Mercury at the 11 degree mark of Taurus, and Mercury is our teacher. Mercury is spirit, but Mercury comes to help us to integrate energies. So at 11 degrees, that is 9 of Swords. So Mercury now is helping us to, I like to think of this as, and with the 11, of course, that is 1111. That's twin flame, if you want to look at it that way. It's actually a degree of Aquarius, so it's about the age of Aquarius. And in the tarot, that's the Justice card, which is connected to Libra energy. So now we're doing a great rebalancing of the mind within self. But we're doing a rebalancing. It's not necessarily a rebalancing of the mind. I'm going to rephrase that. So Gemini season was here to help you get your Christed mind. You can look at it that way. Because your I am truth is your Christed truth. Okay? So Aries season showed it to you. Taurus season showed you the value of it. And Gemini season is here to bring you in alignment in mind with it. Because the next step on the journey through Cancer and Leo is to bring your heart into alignment with your new thoughts and create, therefore, from your value, a belief system that supports who you are and therefore births your reality into real time. I hope that makes sense. Let me explain it to you in terms of energy, okay? Before an energy can come onto the earth and be materialized. So you hear about as above, so below. Or, like in the prayer, thy kingdom come on earth as it already is in the heavens. In other words, who you are as a cosmological being already exists in the heavenlies. But because you entered into this matrix and you didn't know who you were or who you are, you were programmed out of that truth, utilizing the power of mental magic. So in doing so, your energy field no longer was in alignment with who you actually are divinely, therefore making it near impossible for you to manifest the reality of who you are on the earth as it is in the heavens, because the bridge, which is you, your mental and emotional energy, the bridge that is needed to bring that into reality was not in alignment with that energy. It was now in alignment with other energies that aren't the truth of who you are, that were also being doctored spiritually. So in other words, I was just sharing this with a client like an hour ago. In other words, they mentally reprogrammed you through conditioning, programming, spells, etc. And then they used further spell work to create situations in the spirit that aligned with the energy they were programming you into in the matrix, in your mental and emotional reality. And because your mental and emotional reality, the programs that they created in your energy fields, matched the spells they were casting in the spirit, that's what you were manifesting into the earth planes and thinking all manner of things about yourself that aren't true. I hope that makes sense. So, I don't know why I just went off on that tangent, but everything's for a reason. Mercury is at 11 degrees. And because the Gemini energy is all about the lovers, the returning to the garden, the opening of a dimensional doorway into higher timelines, divine contracts, new higher divine contracts, Mercury is now speaking to us and helping us to review what it is that we've been through in Gemini season, but also to mentally align ourselves to be ready for the contracts we're calling into. So our mental energies are now being balanced in preparation to receive the divine, well, for many it will be divine, for some it will be karmic based upon where they are on the journey, right? Mercury is helping us to get into alignment with the new thoughts we need to hold on to in order that when the divine contracts come, our minds are right. Our minds aren't fighting against what it is we've said we've wanted based upon the old lies of believing that we don't deserve something or that we're not worthy of something. 2244. Mercury's coming to get your mind right. That's what it is for your divine contracts at the 11 degree mark. Mastery, also a master degree. Okay, we have Venus also at the 11 degree mark, master degree. Yes, Venus is at 11 degrees Leo. That is 11-11 energy, Mercury and Venus together, 11-11. Showing you again another gateway into the age of Aquarius. Another gateway and opportunity to rise into higher timelines and to access divine contracts. Another window, gate, door, opportunity to come into divine union with self and possibly with divine partners and divine co-creators, etc. And Venus, of course, is dealing with love, beauty, luxury, art, creativity, feminine energy, earthly feminine energies, sensuality. And she's in Leo. And Leo loves that energy too, loves the feeling. Leo's connected to heart, right? Loves the feeling, loves opulence and the good life. And Venus in Leo is here to also help assist us in embracing that, for one thing. But it's almost like Mercury is helping us to, Mercury and Venus are working together at this 11 degree mark of Mercury 11 degrees in Gemini and Venus 11 degrees in Leo. They're working together to help us establish new mindsets where we're actually able to receive and create lives that feel good and that we're okay with. Because a lot of the mental fuckery we have to undo is to do with low self-worth. And because we were programmed in the matrix to constantly think that our worth and our value were based upon what we do as opposed to who we are, the minute we start to make the shift of doing what feels good as opposed to doing what we've been conditioned to believe is right, there's schism and there's resistance and there's guilt and there's shame and there's a whole reprogramming that has to happen. And Mercury and Venus are working together in these new moon energies to help us come to terms with the fact that we deserve to feel good. The Mercury, the Venus and the Mars and Leo together are helping us get over the childhood wounds that made us believe that our value lay in anything other than coming here, connecting with our joy, feeling good doing it, and therefore expanding our light and blessing the earth with that. So Venus in Leo, 11 degrees is 6 of Wands energy. It is the card of victory. It is the card of also public success. Venus is helping to take all of what we've been through, that we went through in private battles, and now it's going to be noticed in real time. And I'm not talking about being on social media and having other people validate. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about because we're dealing with divine contracts. The beings that are about to come forth in your life, if you've done the work, are the ones who see and appreciate all versions of you and appreciate what it is you've been through in order to get to where you are. That's the kind of love and relationships and partnerships that this energy is promoting and opening us up to. This energy is wanting to help us to know that we deserve to be loved lavishly, as I like to say. What is more lavish in astrology than the planet Venus and then the Leo energy? It's time to learn how to be loved lavishly and to be okay with that and to be in receiving mode and to recognize and realize it's not some far-fetched thing. That's matrix programming. It's your divine birthright to love and to be loved lavishly. It's why you came here in a body, to experience it in a body. You wanted to experience God in a body. God is love. And this energy, if you're moving with it, if you're flowing with it, if you're helping it, if you're allowing it to help you access your highest truth, then it's time for you to truly experience your God self on the earth as it has always been in the heavens. But more than that, it's time for others to experience who you are as a God. And it's time for you to experience that too. It's very powerful. It's very beautiful. It's very humbling at the same time. And Mars is fighting for us. Moved ahead, it's farther ahead in the second decan of Leo than Venus. Mars is waging war, moving ahead and taking no shit. Mars is a spiritual warrior. It's going through with the swords. It's like Mars is like, are you going to use those 10 swords that were in your back? Can I have them, please? You know, can I have those swords? Can I fight? And can I make more of a room for these energies to come through more? Can I, like the Six of Wands parade, can I clear the energy so your parade can come through? So I can let that Venus and Leo energy come through because it's right behind Mars. Mars is 16 degrees and Venus is 11. Okay, so they're both Six of Wands. Mars is just farther. And Mars is at the 16 degree mark, which is, well, it's Cancer energy. But it's also the Tower energy. So Mars is making way for your light body to be lit all the way the fuck up, right? Getting everything out the way that doesn't need to be there, that's preventing that. And Mars is blowing shit up while it's doing it, doesn't give a shit what it has to blow up. At 16 degrees, that's Tower energy. But the beautiful thing of this also is 16 degrees, the Tower energy is also your Kundalini rising. Think about it. In the Tower card is a strike of lightning on the building, and the whole building is on fire, and there are beings falling from the building, right? That's also being struck by on the crown and receiving the wisdom you need in order to blow out the shit from your energy field that doesn't align with it. It's ultimate transformation. So the Tower card is also very much connected with chakra upgrades and more importantly, like Kundalini energies. And this is what this Mars energy has been doing. This is why there's been so much anger also. It's the uprooting of childhood wounds. Yeah, but what is the method? The method is, as the sun hits the earth and brings up this stuff, the planets are also working to do the same in us energetically. So literally, we've been living in Tower energies since Mars entered Leo, because the whole point of it is kind of like the raising of the Kundalini to burn out the shit that still is lingering in the fields that needs to go. Because we need our pillar of light to be clear enough now that we can actually connect our reality in the heavens here on the earth planes. Okay. We're 33 minutes in. How much farther should I go? Let's see. Okay, so we got Jupiter at 6 degrees Taurus. So Jupiter is helping us to expand our consciousness in order that we come into higher alignment with our divine truth. Jupiter is helping us to travel through issues with low self-worth and lack mentality. The energies that are connected to lack and low self-worth that would still try to keep us bound on this earth plane to living in ways that are not in alignment with who we now learned we are in Aries season. Excuse me. So Jupiter in Taurus, the 6-degree mark. 6 degrees is 5 of Pentacles. 5 of Pentacles energy is all about lack, right? But it's all about the choices we make to abandon self and sacrifice self, to stay in positions of lack because they're comfortable. Remember, it's Taurus energy. Taurians like comfort. That's what the 5 of Pentacles is. That's why it's also called in the tarot the ride or die card, because it's about two people who are in it, no matter what. Which, in many ways, like especially in the old world, we'd look at that and we say, oh, that's really admirable. Because it's important that you have someone that will ride with you, because they want to. The danger of the 5 of Pentacles energy, though, is people who stay together codependently because they're afraid, because they're comfortable. That's what the 5 of Pentacles energy can be too. And as such, this is going to be highlighting for many people at this time, especially because we're dealing with Lovers energy, which has to do with union. It's going to be highlighting to many people right now how they've done that, how they've settled, how they're still settling to be with people, to be in situations that their earthly or their matrix logic tells them that's what they're supposed to do, but it don't feel good. Because Venus in Leo is challenging us to stop doing shit that doesn't feel good. Right? So Jupiter, 6 degrees Taurus. That's also, Taurus is a Hierophant energy in the tarot. And that's connected to our beliefs, our belief systems that are attached to institutions and institutions and the structures and systems that uphold our global and our collective way of thinking and being. So Jupiter is also challenging us to look at if these system structures, institutions are actually benefiting us. Are they helping us to connect deeper into our divine truth? Are they helping us to feel good? Or do they need to also have, a complete revamp or complete destruction in order that they now come into line with where the world is going? And as such, these institutions are looking at that too. This is the energy of, the Jupiter 6 degrees at Taurus. This is the revamping as we know it right now of our world financial system. A lot is happening in earthly institutions that you might not be seeing or hearing about yet, but this Jupiter in Taurus is facilitating that. Those corporations are going to, be moving forward into new earth energies, are only going to do so if they're utilizing this time right now to see all the ways that they facilitate in keeping people in impoverished states. 5 of Pentacles. 6 is also, again, it's to do with the Lovers. So we have more Gemini energy with the 6th degree. There has to be an expansion, and it's happening. It has to happen in the earth now, and it has to happen in the earthly institutions. And what's so beautiful about this and how the divine works is that what is actually happening right now with this new moon in Gemini is that as you step into your divine contracts, as more people step into divine unions, divine partnerships, you are the ones who are about to be facilitating the changes in these system structures and institutions. So they're already trying to figure out, how do we need to amend ourselves for these changing times? And you're the answer, and you're getting ready to do that. It's pretty fucking cool, right? Saturn, 7 degrees. I don't think do we need to go into all of this? We'll go into it briefly. Saturn at 7 degrees Pisces. I believe it's stationed to go retrograde, but not quite yet when the moon is new in Gemini on Sunday. But that 7-degree mark is the chariot. It is the light body. It is to do with energies that, 7 is also a Libra degree. So it's about justice and balance. But these are all about the energies and the timelines that need to be reviewed also. That's what the Saturn energy is doing as it goes back. It's reviewing some of these timelines from the age of Pisces that Saturn is, what is the word I'm looking for? Saturn is the energy of the old head. Saturn is the energy of the one who likes to conserve. So Saturn is that energy that helps us to not throw the baby out with the bathwater kind of thing. Saturn is the energy that, you know, in its detriment, it can hold on to things and become so rigid because it likes a certain way of doing things. But in its like beautifully balanced state, what Saturn is here to do is help us to kind of like not forget where we've come from, not forget the wisdom that we've gleaned from energies, even matrix energies. You get what I'm saying? Saturn's here to help us to accrue the wisdom we need to move forward and to progress and to advance, but also in ways that are honoring to who it is we've been, all versions of self. Remember I said at the beginning of this, well, not beginning, but earlier on in the video, I said that these energies are opening up the door for people who actually see every version of you and what you've been through and adore you for it. Saturn is that energy that also helps. Saturn in this energy is also assisting that. I don't think I want to go too much farther in there, but Uranus at 21 degrees, Taurus, that's just entering the 7 of Pentacles energy. So that again is very much connected to the Jupiter. Jupiter and Uranus. Uranus is going ahead of Jupiter, and it's challenging all of these earthly institutions, because it's Taurus energy, to start to look at things in a different way. And the 21 degrees, the 7 of Pentacles, is the beginning of planting seeds. Remember I said with the Jupiter, there are things that are going on behind the scenes with these institution systems and structures that you might not be aware of, we might not be aware of because they're not public yet, but it's happening. And it's being assisted by these Uranus and Taurus energies too. The 21 degree mark, again, is tied to the world energies. There's a grand wrapping up of something that's occurring with this new moon in Gemini, which is always the case, because in order to bring in the new, and this is new contracts, you must let go of the old. And Uranus is that energy that loves to just like, Uranus is kind of very much, Uranus is kind of like Mars energy to me. They're very different, but in some things they connect. And Uranus is not afraid to burn the whole house down because there's a cabinet full of I don't know, papers. Like, instead of just burning the papers, Uranus isn't afraid. Like, this is why Uranus and Saturn need each other in this age, because the Aquarian energy in its Uranian expression can be so boundless and so lacking boundaries that it goes into the opposite direction, where it can actually become a hindrance. And the Saturn energy, it needs to come in and kind of police. But the Uranus won't let Saturn control him or her, right? Uranus was like, okay, Saturn, you know, I'll listen to you, but I'm still going to, you're not the boss of me. You're not the boss of me. So it's a very interesting dynamic in the Aquarian energy that we're going to be seeing play out in this age. And it's why this age of Aquarius is so interesting, because on the one hand, I tell clients this all the time when I'm dealing with like parents and their children at this age and making these adjustments. And I say to my children too, I'm just the bridge. People my age and above, we're just the bridge. We're here to be the bridge between the old and the new, but the new world is actually going to belong to them. And so those of us who are the bridge are the ones who oftentimes will carry the Saturnian energy that is needed in order to create order, while there's still authenticity and freedom and expression and respect and the building of true value. So anyway, it's an interesting time we're in. So Neptune is, still at that 27-degree mark in Pisces. Still asking us to connect with the Ten of Cups energy of the dream of the energy of feeling good with those that we choose to surround ourselves with. Whether it be the family you create, your soul tribe, your work environment, the Ten of Cups energy, many people think it's not possible. But the truth is the Ten of Pentacles isn't truly possible without the Ten of Cups. The material reality is only going to match the emotional one. The material reality is only going to match the emotional one. What do I mean by that? There are people who have the Ten of Pentacles, or you think they have the Ten of Pentacles because they have money, but they don't. A lot of them are in the Five of Pentacles because all they have is money. I think it's the Peace Dealer. I love him. He says that you're so poor, all you have is money, right? So money doesn't equate value, because oftentimes the matrix system, the ones who are the richest are the ones who do the what is it Kanye said, the prettiest people do the ugliest things on the road to riches and diamond rings. Like, the ones that people are looking up to, they do the most cutthroat things to get to where they are. And a person who is willing to do that to any other being has no self-value, because how you treat other people begins with how you feel and treat yourself. So, as such, the Ten of Pentacles, which is having material, I don't want to even call it wealth because that can be misconstrued, material abundance and prosperity, because for everyone that's going to look different in accordance with what it is that makes you feel good and what it is you're here to accomplish. Some people are happy with very little for as long as they don't have to worry about bills. That's wealth to them. That's true wealth. And others can have billions and still be miserable assholes because they're still poor. Emotionally, they're poor. So the Ten of Pentacles will be what makes you feel good materially in a way that brings balance to your emotional resonance too. In other words, what's the point in being a billionaire if you don't get to share that with someone you love, if you don't get to, if you're working all the time, if the work you're doing is sapping your soul? That's not wealth. It's not wealth. That's not prosperity. It's not abundance. So the Ten of Cups is what creates the true Ten of Pentacles, because it's being so happy with yourself that you create a life that feels good, where you have everything that you need and probably everything that you want too, because your wants and your desires are now in alignment with who you are divinely, as opposed to the greed and the woundedness, the commercialism, consumerism, and capitalism, the 3 C's of the matrix. The 3 C's that in order to have them, they had to keep us in wounded, greedy states, narcissistic templates in order to run it all. There's no more of that. That's why so many people are like, fuck this, I'm gonna go live in a van. Fuck this, I'll live in my car before I live in this shit. That's what people are doing now. Because it's not worth it. All of the bells and the trinkets and all this other shit, it's not worth it if it doesn't make you feel good. It's not worth it. And Neptune is here to help us connect with what's worth it. What is worth it? And more important than what is worth it, do you believe it's possible? Neptune gives you the ability to believe in the dream, to connect with the dream. And all of this Taurus energy is helping you to ground it. But more importantly, the Gemini energy is helping it to change your mind to come into alignment with the dream. Because before it's earthed and grounded, it must come through the mental planes, your thoughts. And it must come through your thoughts must come in alignment with now the emotions that come forth to get the energy moving. Emotions, energy in motion, that then create the belief system upon which the foundation for these energies to continue and to be sustained. It's built upon your belief system of your value, based upon who you are divinely. So the Neptune, 27 degrees Pisces, is helping us connect to the dream, and the Gemini energy is helping us to align our thoughts, that we can begin to think in ways that support the dream being birthed collectively with the 10 of Cups. Ooh, okay. Pluto, 29 degrees. Capricorn. I think I want to get into that energy. I think I've already been there, but let's just go into the nodes and we'll be done. Oh, I didn't know Chiron was 19 degrees. Aries, that's that energy of 19 degrees is the Sun card. It's Leo. It's the energy where we come into alignment with who we are. We come home to self and we recover the fullness of our light, our souls. We're whole again. And so Chiron in Aries is challenging us in that energy right now too. Again, this whole month has really been about no longer being the wounded healing, but grabbing a hold of the wisdom that we've accrued from being wounded and now being the healers. And so this is a critical degree that we're at for that process, the 19 degree mark. It's the end of woundedness. It's the end of living and creating from states of woundedness if you want it to be. The nodes, and then we'll be done. It's at 1 degree, Taurus. North node is 1 degree Taurus, south node is 1 degree Scorpio. As we continue to pull into the 0 degree mark of Taurus and Scorpio before the nodes switch, we are going to be revealed more of the ugliest things about this system that has caused us to be constantly and consistently devalued is going to come up for us to see. So the 1 degree mark is, again, it's magician energy. So we're at a tarot energy is Gemini and Mercury, where the nodes are. And astrologically speaking, the 1 is an Aries degree. So it's all about deeper revelation, a few things, deeper revelation of who we are divinely and all the things that have systemically and systematically kept us from aligning with that, and the unearthing with that Scorpio energy of all of that stuff in order for it to die and to be transformed. So that when we move, the nodes move into Aries and Libra in July, mid-July, last decan of Cancer season that's happening, last decan of Cancer, I'm sorry. When the nodes switch, we're ready now to bring balance back into the earth, because Aries and Libra are concerned now with balancing what it is that we've been shown. So I think I'm going to leave it there. I hope that this, oh, it's 11:11. Man, I wonder if I can show you this on my thing. 11:11. Do you see it? 23:11. Oop. It flashed. And then it turned to 23:12. Okay. I hope that this reading, tarot astrology reading for the new moon, was helpful and insightful. I offered these services personally in written report form, as well as I am doing for the month of June, and we'll see how it goes, tarot astrology readings, either audio, video readings, or you can meet with me one-to-one and we'll go through your chart just like this, and we'll unravel what your soul wants to learn and what you've come equipped with, and some of the stories behind your motivation. So that's all available. If you want to know more about my services, you can always check out my website. And link for that is below. But I want to wish you a really happy new moon in Gemini. Congratulations, guys. We've come so far. We really have come so far. Our minds have been renewed out of like the garbage dump for many of us, like myself included, and you should be so proud of yourself. This new moon should really be a moon of celebration, and of course there's fuckery happening. I saw it today on Solar Speaks. I might get into it, but here we're dealing with tarot astrology. So yeah, the fuckery abounds, but so does the joy. The fuckery abounds, but so does the joy. Maybe I should put that on a t-shirt. The fuckery abounds, but so does the joy. So for those of you who are coming into inner union, divine union, higher timelines, divine contracts, well done. Well done. My heart is expanded for you. So Yes, I think that's it. Thank you again to all the ways, for all the ways you helped me to grow my joy and my value and my ability to create a life that I love. And that I can then give back to you guys in balanced and joyful states. Thank you for all the ways you assist me in doing that. Thank you for ordering my readings and my reports. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you for your donations. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for healing. Thank you for doing the work. Thank you for opening the dimensional gateways that allow us all to walk through and get different levels of healing, because that's what you do. Every time you make the choice to heal, you open dimensional doorways that can light the way for someone else to access and to come through. So it's pretty amazing. You're a pretty amazing multidimensional being. I hope you know that. I hope you know that, and I hope this Gemini season, this new moon, you own it, okay? I'm going to love you, and I'll see you again soon. Until next time, be well.